to see a world in a grain of sand, and a heaven in a wild flower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand, and eternity in an hour.
The greatest poem ever known is one all poets have outgrown. The poetry innate, untold, of being only 4 years old. Born comrade of bird, beast, and tree, and unself-conscious as the bee. Still young enough to be a part of nature's great impulsive heart. And yet with lovely reason skilled, each day new paradise to build. Elate explorer of each sense, without dismay, without pretense. In your unstrained, transparent eyes, there is no conscience, no surprise. Life's queer conundrums you accept. Your strange divinity still kept. And life that sets all things in rhyme may make you poet too in time. But there were days, O tender elf, when you were poetry itself.
Some people think that they will see God as if he were standing there and they here. It is not so. God and I, we are one. I am converted into him in such a way that he makes me one being with himself, not a similar being. By the living God, it is true that there is no distinction. The eye by which I see God is the same as the eye by which God sees me. My eye and God's eye are one and the same, one in seeing, one in knowing, and one in loving.
Why have you gone searching for God outside yourself? Did you not know that you are a part of God and that God is a part of you already? I didn't come here so you could find God in me. I came here to help you find God in you. The kingdom of heaven is within you already.
And then you'll hear somebody from the house and they'll say, "Who's there?" "Oh, it's just me." You know, kids going to school don't realize who they are. And school's not teaching us who we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, all around us, every day we see clear evidence of the imprisoned mind.
The educational system is supposed to train people to be obedient, conformist, not think too much, do what you're told, stay passive, don't cause any crises of democracy, don't raise any questions, and so on. That's basically what the system is about.
Everything that gets into your brain affects your reality tunnel, your worldview, or your belief system. Any belief system or reality tunnel you've got right now is going to have to be revised and updated as you continue to apprehend new events later in time, not simultaneously. This is the natural functioning of the human brain. It's the way children's brains perform before they're wrecked by the school system. It's the way the minds of all great scientists and artists work. But once you have a belief system, everything that comes in either gets ignored if it doesn't fit the belief system, or it gets distorted enough so that it can fit into the belief system. You got to be continually revising your map of the world, or you'll lose more and more contact with reality.
That is our calling in this campaign. That's our calling, to reaffirm that fundamental belief.
Well, you know, we read that all things are possible if you believe. Well, I started to study this word belief, and I thought, where does it come from? How do we arrive at it? How do we believe? Why do we believe what we believe? Do you know, if you really analyze most of your beliefs, they have no foundation. We believe lies. We really do. I began reevaluating who I was, what made me tick. You see, if you'd asked me who I was, I would have said I was Bob Proctor, but I'm not Bob Proctor. Bob and Proctor are just two words. That's my name, but it's not me. Well, who am I? What actually happened? I started to evaluate who I was. I want you to hold your hand up in front of you. Hold it right up in front of you and look at it. It looks solid, doesn't it? It's not solid. It's a sieve at the very best. If you took the proper microscope and studied it, you'd be blown away. There's particles of energy, and there's a greater space between the particle than the size of the particle itself. Now, this thing that looks solid, that's our perception. And our perception creates our reality.
I had made a little fan. It has blades. Now I rotate the blades. And you see a disc where there is no disc. You see a disc where there is no disc. Don't call that illusion. It's abstract. Some philosopher said, just because of that kind of stuff, he said the world is an illusion. Not a bit. The world is not an illusion. It's whatever it is, except what we abstract from. We are sort of a mirror. And we mirror only inside us, in our nervous system, what is going on outside of our nervous system. The correct expression is that we are dealing with abstraction of some order. And to show those abstractions, I made this myself. You see a disc where there is no disc. This is what it means when I say that objects, ordinary objects, is man-made. You see an apple? You made the apple, all right. Because what exists there is only a process going on. Electrocolloidal, electromagnetic process going on. And now, it lasts for a while, and we abstract out of it the apple we see. And this applies, remember, to all abstraction. I say this applies to all abstraction. The abstraction do not mean that it means nothing, except it's the human mirroring of the process which is going on, if we want it or not. It's more important for us in our work here to know how we know, even that what we know. Because whatever, the silent levels, whatever you will say, some take is where it is, because what is going on is on non-verbal levels.
Hunab Ku Productions.